Hello, my name is Mackenzie, and I'm autistic and ADHD as well. This is my YouTube channel, Autistic Musings. And on this channel, I discuss the meanings of autistic terms, unique solutions to uniquely autistic problems, and I share my own experience as an autistic person. Now, today we'll be discussing some myths about autism, in regards to wanting to socialize with other people and how socializing feels from my perspective. Welcome back, all my returning viewers. I am so excited to announce that I have now hit over 100 subscribers, and I am just so thankful to those who are watching that have subscribed and those of you who are giving this type of support, and I appreciate the crap out of you guys, okay? And to all the newcomers, welcome. I hope you stay and like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel. I love more subscribers, or share this with somebody. All options. All right, so to the topic at hand. So often autistic people are interpreted as having a complete disinterest in socializing with other people. And while I understand where this conclusion comes from, it's really misleading and kind of a generalization and does not explain that at all well. It's kind of an outright lie. So for me personally, I definitely desire social interaction. I don't know if it's to the same level as other people. I'm pretty content with a lower amount than what I witness as typical. Mostly, I do find social interaction challenging, and more draining than other people. So this makes it, my capacity to do it and everything, I feel like is lower. That might be because I do think I'm introverted, even for an autistic person. I find interacting with people pretty freaking draining, and I need a lot of alone time to do well at that and even slightly enjoy it. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't desire a connection with another human being. No, I do. I love to get into to debates and conversations about my special interests and other topics and learn about people, but that usually doesn't come until later on, when I've been interacting with you for a while. That takes some active effort on my part to get familiar enough with you to be comfortable and to relax in this conversation. And even then, I am monitoring myself and doing this thing that a lot of autistic people do in social situations, which is masking. And it's a little bit stressful, and a lot of autistic people do it. I'm going to explain kind of how most daily social interactions feel to me. They feel like I am thinking about a memorized script in my head, and there's like a list of things and directions that I have to do while I'm reciting that script. And it's really hard to remember it all and to monitor how I'm acting and how I'm doing things in order to make that other person feel like I'm listening to them and I'm absorbing what they're saying and I'm giving the appropriate amount of attention and consideration for them, and I'm not doing things that people interpret as rude, impolite, inappropriate, and just not socially acceptable. That tends to be a theme in my social interactions throughout the day, and it makes it not as fun for me. I think this is how I explained it to my sister. It's kind of like it's an intellectual exercise. It's not like something that seems to be automatic for most people. Look at this person, give them a turn to speak. Like, these are all things I'm very consciously aware of, and I monitor in order to do this in a way where I'm not either talking the whole conversation, haven't contributed at all to this conversation. I've not stayed on the same topic for like an hour. I've allowed transition to happen. So many different things that are like rules that you guys aren't quite aware of that you do. And if I diverge off of them too much in a daily interaction, I make the other person deeply uncomfortable, or I annoy the crap out of them, or frustrate them, or see, this is, I described socializing daily, like the small talk, coworkers, day-to-day people, how this feels to my sister as a intellectual exercise and a subject that I am terrible at. So it's like calculus for all those people like me that just sucked at math after a certain point. I got to pre-calculus somehow by the skin of my teeth, and I tried really hard to be good at pre-calculus and studied a lot and tried to memorize the formulas that just didn't sink into my head, and I still failed. That's kind of the subject of socializing, what it feels like on a daily basis. I know I'm not great at it. I'm aware of that. But I still try really hard to be like maybe average, maybe below average with an awkward twist on there. I try really hard to be at like that level, and that's me being like my 100% effort, and it still doesn't seem to be very good. That sounded super self-critical, but I'm like, I'm not great at it. I still do incredibly awkward things and say socially inappropriate things and don't give people time to talk, interrupt them constantly, don't transition well from topic to topic, accidentally zone out of the conversation, jump at noises. Like, I do all these things, even when I'm monitoring myself and I'm being super aware of myself in the conversation and monitoring that, oh, you're looking at them, you're looking at their forehead because you can't handle any eye contact right now, but you have your body facing towards them, you're not doing that bouncy thing that makes people think like you want to move away from them, and a whole bunch of other stuff, while I'm trying to absorb what this person is saying. And none of the things I'm doing with my body is actually helping me. I prefer to move around and pace around and do these things that are often interpreted differently than what they are. And that's kind of how social interaction on a daily basis feels. It's not relaxing. It's not something like I sit down with my coworkers and I feel relaxed in this conversation right now. No, I'm zoning in and out, monitoring myself. I'm doing a whole bunch of things to like remain, what's the word I'm looking for? Positive acquaintance with this person, because I know I have to interact with them daily, and I know what happens after a long time of not realizing and being oblivious to the consequence of not being on a good working relationship with people and that type of thing. It doesn't end well for me, so I've worked hard to do all these rules and these things, and I am trying to unlearn them on a level because they're stressful, because I kind of do them like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this right now, I'm supposed to be doing this right now, but none of these things are actually helpful in me absorbing information, actually having a conversation with you, or enjoying the conversation. That's usually only happens when I'm completely relaxed and I'm doing some very autistic things to absorb the information that you're throwing at me and multiple other things, and not feeling completely, don't see me. So that's kind of what socializing like on a daily basis with like acquaintances and people that you have to interact with feels like to me. And by the time I'm done with that for the day, I'm pretty exhausted socially. My battery that I use for social interaction is kind of dead. And I'm tired, and the social interaction and connection and effort that goes into, for me, attempting to initiate and building a friendship is no longer there because I've spent it on other people. I do think I have a lower capacity to do the level of social interaction that I see other people do and still get everything in my adult life done in an adultly timely manner. So there's that. But I do want to be connected and have friendships with other people. I think I'm much better about that lately because I'm gives myself more breaks, and I do give people their full attention and do my autistic bits like stimming and things in order to focus on the conversation with somebody I do want to spend more time with. And it's taken me a while to get to that point. I hope this was somehow insightful and this gave you some perspective with either your own feelings and social interactions or a loved one's perspective on why they might not be a heavy social interaction person and they don't want to interact with the people sometimes. It's not a personal thing. It's it's about us and it's draining. I hope this gave you some perspective for that person, and I hoped you enjoyed this topic, and if you did, subscribe to my channel. I want to see more of you, and share it with other people. And I hope you join me next week.